Okay. So here promise. Okay. Suppose we want to fetch the data from the backend server. Okay. So how much time it will take from the loading from the backend server? We cannot tell it will finish only in 1 second, or we cannot tell it will finish only in 5 seconds, something like this, right? It is based on your network and it is based on the server performance. Okay. Until that, if you are writing any code waiting it, then what is the problem? Our UI page will hang. Okay. To solve this problem, we can use a promises. Okay. So in the promises, mainly there will be like two pieces. Suppose there is a mobile vendor is there. I want to give a basic example, then we'll go for a promise. Okay. Suppose a mobile vendor is there. Okay. iPhones are there. Example. Okay. Now current version is 15. Okay. Suppose if they are still they are manufacturing the iPhone 10 only, nobody is buying outside, then what is the use of preparing them? Is there any use or no use? No use at all. Okay. Who is the producer here? iPhone guys. And who is the consumer? Like our users, whoever buying it. Okay. So in this process, mainly there are two persons are there. One is a producer, another is a consumer. Okay. So whenever producer is producing, consumer will consume. Correct, right? Without there any value, what? How can I consume it? We cannot consume it. Okay. So this producer, so producer code will take some time. That means they will when we want to get some data, it will take some time from the API. So that is nothing but producing. And consuming is we have to wait for that one until that is released. We have to wait. Before they are releasing, if I want to go and buy iPhone, nobody can sell it. Correct, right? Once the release only, we can buy it. Same thing, before getting our output, we cannot get any something like this. Okay. So this promise is it will link between our producer and consumer code. Okay. So let's go and read some points about this interview. So these promises are for handling the asynchronous actions. Okay. Suppose whenever we want to get the data from backend server, then we will use it. Okay. So till that loading the data, what our event looping system will do? Okay, you are loading the system. Okay, you this one will moving to the next waiting block. Okay. And it will execute the remaining things. Whenever the data comes again, it will be back to the main thread and it will load the data, something like that. Okay. So these promises are used for what purpose? Asynchronous actions. Asynchronous action means sending a request to the server, getting the data, and those things we'll call it as a asynchronous. Okay. And promises produce a single over. Okay. It will return only one value. For entire period, it is going to return only one value over a period of time. Okay. And here in this one, mainly we will have a three states. Okay. One is a fulfilled, second is a rejected, third is a pending. Okay. Once I start the promise, nobody can stop that promise. Okay. There is no nothing unstoppable. Okay. So once it is started, that's all, it has to end only. So then, and users can attach callbacks to fulfill the actions based on the rejection, something like this. Okay. So we have seen theoretically, and let us understand, write a simple program and understand. Okay. So first I have to create a promise object. So to create the promise, I will say, let's create the promise. Okay. I will say new promise. Okay. So we can create a promise function, something like this. Okay. So whenever you are going to create one object, you can use a new keyword. Okay. So this new keyword we can write like a promise. So this promise is a constructor which will take one function as an argument. Okay. How many function? Only one function. That one function will take a two arguments. It will take only one function, but that one function will take a two arguments. So I will say resolve comma reject. So I can keep any variable name, or I need to keep only resolve and reject. I can keep any variable name. Okay. But here for only better naming purpose, I will write a resolve and reject. Okay. And this will return a function. See, arrow function, I am writing it. Okay. Inside the arrow function, I am writing this one is not required. Let us later I will write. Okay. So here what is this meaning is resolve means success. Okay. Reject means a fail. Suppose you are calling an API, you are able to get the data and you want to update that data to your system, then you can call a resolve. Suppose you are calling an API that is failed, then which one you have to call it a reject. Okay. Reject means fail, resolve means a success. Mainly it will have a three states. Okay. So three states. Okay, so one is a pending, resolve, rejected. Pending means it is in progress, it is not yet completed, something that is a pending. Resolve means a okay, successfully done. Rejected means a successfully failed. So that is nothing but three states. Okay, so whatever the code we have written, this is nothing but a producing the code. Okay, producing the producer. Okay, so mainly the here two parts will be there, right? One is a producer code, another is a consumer code. So here what is the right we have written? We have written a new promise and we are taking one function. That function, how many arguments? Two arguments, resolve and reject. And this is nothing but a callback only. Do you remember callback? So see, this argument is nothing but a callback. That is the reason we are calling like a resolve of bracket, something like this. Okay, now I need to execute that promise. I need to write a consumer code. Okay, for this reason, I am going to write like this: promise dot, okay, promise. What is my promise name here? Promise only. Okay, you can keep any variable name. Now, A, B, anything also you can give it. Okay, let us have a promise for now. And whenever this is producing any value, we have to get that value, right? What is the value? It is written in a hello world. That hello world, I want to print it here. Okay, so for that purpose, what I am going to do? I am going to write like a promise dot then. Okay, there is a method called then. Okay, so this then method will take a argument here. Okay, suppose here this then method will take the, see, this then method will take the one argument, something. Okay, so let us see. I will say first one, this is a value, and I will write a open bracket and close bracket, something like this. Okay, so this is nothing but a one ES6 function. Okay, so whenever this is a success, this function will be called. Let us see the example. So if it is a success, I want to print a console.log value. So if you are going to run this hello world, here we are calling, creating a promise. This promise is calling which method? Resolve. Resolve means a success, and we are subscribing also, right? So that is the reason whenever we are going to load the data, we are going to get a hello world. Okay, suppose if it is failed, let us call the reject here. Okay, reject means what? Failed. Let us see what will happen. So if you are going to reload, see what is the error? There is a uncaught in promise something. There is an error happen here. Like there is error happened or not? Error happened. So if it is a success, it will get your first value. If it is a fail, it will not come here. Okay, suppose if it is a fail, right? I want to handle that event also. Okay, I don't want to stop my program, I want to handle it. So that is the reason I can write a another block called catch. Okay, so we have seen this catch in the try catch, right? Try catch finally, whenever there is a risky code, we can write a catch. This catch is also, this is not, this catch is not belongs to that catch. Here catch is a method, okay, which is available in the promise, which is available in the promise. Whenever you are calling reject, okay, automatically this catch will be executed because you are going to throw a error. Okay, that is the reason. Let us see now. So here I will say failed, because when catch will come, whenever there is a error only, fail. Here I will say success. Okay, fail and success will not come together, either only one will come. Okay, so what is the output we are getting? It a fail, hello world. But top one, suppose I want to make it as a success, then if you want to call it, then which function I should call it? Resolve. Okay, resolve. Then which function will be called here? Promise dot then this function will be called. So when this catch will be executed, only if error is occurred, then only catch will come. If no error, catch will not execute at all. Okay, so whenever you want to write try catch something like this, not try catch, you want to handle the error in the promise, then you can write a catch block here. Okay, so this is nothing but a promise. So here mainly how many pieces are there? Mainly two pieces. This is a producer code, this is a consumer code. Okay, so in the interview they will write, they will give notepad, open your notepad and write the promise, example promise, you write it. Then what you have to write like a let promise is equal to, you can write like this. Okay, clear? They will ask directly, open your notepad and write it. So we have to write the program something like this. Okay, so this is a promise. Okay, suppose here we are writing a promise something like this, right? So okay, so this is the consumer code, something like this. Okay, let me